Here's really what came out of this episode. Where he's showing off his ship way more, and this thing is like gonna be the centerpiece of who he is. He's got the fastest ship in the galaxy.
Still not as cool as his other ship.
It doesn't have the cargo space.
It's no Luthen's ship.
Dude, Luthen's ship is deadly, but his is fast. It's just so fast, Sean. He stores his.
It's not as fast as the Millennium Falcon.
He stores his Darksaber in his ring.
How many parsecs can it do? Whatever.
More.
That's right, Chuck.
Hello there.
Assemble. Just chuck a bomb on fixtures.
99 nerds. I am here today with Jonathan.
Hello, who are you?
Austin.
Okay.
And David's here too. The three of us here to talk about in episode 33 of 99 Nerds. We're here to talk about season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Specifically just the first episode.
Yeah, just one episode in so far.
So far, one episode's dropped. We are super close to 99 subscribers on YouTube, Sean, at the time of recording. Where are we at?
91.
91.
With a bullet.
The year I was born. 1891, that is. We plan at 99 subscribers to do a face reveal for you guys. We're excited about that.
Yeah.
So, David, did you watch The Mandalorian?
I actually did. I didn't know we were going to talk about it, so.
He actually did. I did too, guys. I didn't just put it on my list. I actually watched it this time.
Nice.
It wasn't asking much of you. I think it was only like 30 something minutes long.
Right. But we are also going to talk about something that I did not see.
Oh my gosh. That's true.
You guys went to a local theater recently.
Me and Dave, we saw Creed 3.
Creed 3. You guys saw two Marvel villains fight each other.
We did.
Who's the better Marvel villain?
That's a good question. Actually.
Killmonger.
We'll have to figure it out when we get there.
Kang. We talked about Kang and Ant-Man last time. David dropped some mad alpha for us about Kang. I saw some pretty cool theory videos talking about Kang, about how he might be He Who Remains.
I didn't watch that video. It was like, that was a serious video.
It was pretty good, yeah.
No, wait, it wasn't just a joke?
No, it wasn't.
Because the thumbnail is, it's Kang the Conqueror, and then He Who Remains. It's like, is this the same guy?
Right.
I thought it was a joke, because like, yes, literally the same.
Yes. It's literally the same guy.
I actually like my version of what that video was supposed to be about better.
Yeah. It was a good breakdown. It's essentially like time is a loop. He says multiple times throughout the show, time is a prison, time is a loop, time is not what you think it is. He Who Remains says
it's money.
Oh my gosh, I never thought of it like that. Kang obviously did. He says multiple times throughout that he's very, very old. He's much older than you'd think. He talks about how he's been called a conqueror, and he almost has like a somberness to him where he almost looks back at what he's done in the past with like regretfulness, and how he was the one who overthrew all the other Kang variants. And in the movie, all those other Kang variants are kind of afraid of him.
Jonathan Majors.
Like they exiled him because he was the biggest threat to them. Here. So maybe
33. Oh my gosh, he is older than you think.
He's actually younger than I would have thought.
Oh yeah.
But he, dang, he totally threw me into the quantum realm in my mind.
I'm sorry.
Oh, basically saying like that Kang is definitely not dead. That Kang is going to be the one that comes back.
Which is what I said.
Yeah, but I wasn't really listening to you.
Wow.
But this other guy on YouTube. So anyway, that's just some Kang talk. I think we're probably going to do Kang talk.
Kang talk.
We could do like a whole segment. Kang talk.
Kang talk.
Every episode. Because there's so much to talk about.
All the different Kangs. Donkey Kang, Lanky Kang.
Cranky Kang.
Funky Kang.
Yeah. What's his cousin? Funky? Is that the one who's like a DJ?
Oh no, that's
He's like the big one.
Yeah, from N64.
Yeah.
Oh god, Lumpy Kang, I don't know.
Definitely not, but maybe. So anyway, David, did you watch Mandalorian recently?
Hang on, kid.
Yeah, what'd you think?
What did you think, Sean? I always want to get Sean's opinion first for some reason.
I was whelmed.
Wow. He was adequately whelmed.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Mandalorian. they are just completely leaning into the fact that this show is going to be structured in a way where no matter what, in order to do the mission, first Mandalorian has to do a side mission.
Right.
In order to move forward, like there's a classic reel on Instagram that I've seen 100 times where it's like, this is Mandalorian in a nutshell. Oh no, we need to save the person, but we ran out of milk. We gotta go to this planet and get milk. In order to get the milk, I need to help that guy do something else. And it's just nothing but like all these side quests.
Right. And then his ship falls apart. Oh, I gotta fix my ship to go do the other mission.
So yeah, that's they just lean into it. That is what Mandalorian is. But I don't have a problem with
I love that.
Yeah, they said from the beginning, this is just a space Western. And Western, like, sheriff ranger type shows, they were the same thing, where it was the same formula played out over many times.
So let me ask you, who's the better sheriff, Mando or Rick Grimes?
Mandalorian. Rick Grimes is annoying.
What?
Mainly because I haven't watched
Any of it?
No, I haven't watched it in a very long time.
So he's back. Him and Michonne are getting their own. Yeah, they're getting their own spinoff.
I know that he came back in the finale, but I stopped watching when he left. So I don't know what that was like.
I don't know.
Did he just leave?
I didn't watch it.
Did he die? I don't know. Did he die just like IG-11 died?
Right.
So
yeah, speaking of Mando, so
I was actually speaking of IG-11, but that's fine.
I watched the episode, and when it finished, I thought to myself, that's it? But the more I thought about it, it was like, yeah, actually, I guess a lot happened. I just felt like there's a lot of little things. I like wanted something. The one thing I didn't like was I thought for sure he was going to whip out the Darksaber just to...
Right.
I feel like that's just what you do.
Just to stunt on
to intro
Bo-Katan.
the season. Like, he's got this weapon still.
See, though, they showed off his other weapon.
Right. So yeah, there's...
What was his other weapon?
You know better than most. You've built it recently.
Oh my gosh, his Starfighter.
Yeah. That thing is a Lamborghini. It's so fast.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's just so fast.
Sure.
I really like... When his Razor Crest blew up, we were all sad. But if they're going to continue to use his ship in the way they did in this episode, I am all for it.
Yeah, that was sweet.
The way he comes in the beginning, and then, I mean, the most action-packed sequence in this episode was him getting away from these pirates that are chasing him, which is clearly setting up a future villain situation. But, I mean, that was some top-notch. I was watching that thinking, like, this looks like it's from episode 2, where Obi-Wan's running away from Jango Fett.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Nothing but a good asteroid fight scene.
Dude, classic. Just freaking vintage Star Wars.
Yeah, that was good.
You know what's great too about that episode is that just made me smile was when he was with the, I don't remember what they're called, but like Babu Frick.
Yeah.
That droid crew. And when you're watching them, they're all just this like ridiculously silly animatronic puppets, like Jim Henson, like 1980s style, like awkwardly moving around.
Right.
And I just loved it. That's what I want in a movie. I don't want this dumb CGI.
Yeah. I liked it. I like I like his ship, the Naboo cruiser or whatever, Starfighter. I like the droid port is Grogu's spot.
Yeah, that's actually I forgot all about that. That's what that is.
Right. I like how like stripped down and like skeletal it is. It's just like so sleek. I mean, you would know. You recently built it.
Yeah, you said that.
Recently, Sean built that Star Cruiser.
You guys remember how last podcast might have been my favorite podcast we've ever done.
Wow.
Remember when you guys bought me all those gifts?
Yeah, that was crazy.
We should do that every single time.
Dude, every single other fourth year.
Okay. Well, next year is a leap year, so that I feel like that counts.
Oh, you might miss out on that year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but The Mandalorian was cool because, well, first of all, that opening action sequence was great.
Yeah.
Was it?
I thought it was.
Am I the only one who thought it was like kind of dumb?
It was dumb. Yes. It was very dumb. And that's kind of why I liked it. Because, first of all, I misunderstood. I thought the kid, were you like this too? I thought that was Mando.
Yeah,
right.
And I thought this was a flashback.
Right.
Until he shows up and then you're like, oh, shoot. But what was kind of great about that was how humiliatingly these Mandalorians kept getting defeated by this monster.
Yeah.
It's just a big crocodile.
Yeah, and
That's
I
all it
kept
was.
thinking, like, this is ridiculous. Like, you guys just kill it. Like, you're Mandalorians. I feel
Right.
But then it went on, and I feel like this is actually kind of brilliant because it's like just an extended monster movie scene, and we just don't get that anymore and stuff.
Yeah.
That's Mando's specialty. What was it? Season 1, where he kills that sand jobber,
I think that was
Krayt Dragon.
that was the season premiere of 2.
Of 2. You're right. That's what he does.
And he kills the giant great horn thing in season 1. Grogu saving his life.
Just vintage Mando stuff.
Yeah.
Din Djarin. I was always calling him Din Djarin,
That's
and that's
it.
not right. And then who says it? I think Bo-Katan says it.
Din Djarin. Yeah.
Dinny Jar.
I didn't like
Jar Jar.
I didn't like that crocodile scene because they just kept doing the same thing, trying to shoot his scales. And it's
Yeah,
like,
that was
okay,
dumb.
you
So
gotta shoot his mouth.
it's not working.
or his underbelly. And then they're like, well, our firepower won't do it. So let's try our muscle and rope this thing down with 4 of us and try to hold it down. That didn't work.
I
thought it was
actually,
dumb.
on my way here, I was watching that scene over again, and the most ridiculous part is the armorer. What's her official name?
I don't remember.
The lady who forges the stuff. She's freaking standing there with a hammer and a sickle, ready to fight this thing. It's like, hold on. Are you the only one that forges this armor? Are you like the only armorer? You should probably back off, Shoddy. You don't even have a gun. And then she runs in the water. I'm convinced the dude that was in the water that she saved must be a love interest because she had no weapons and she had no reason to go in that water, but she did. She risked herself.
This is the way.
That's what they
about it.
say, don't they?
I think Snoop Dogg was one of those Mandos.
Oh my God.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
No.
I feel like Mandalorians is like
I
the
know what you're
perfect place.
talking
Is
about.
like the perfect thing. Like that and Stormtroopers is the perfect thing for a celebrity cameo.
that
I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. I saw Snoop Dogg in a Mando costume, and I assumed he's in Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's the wrong assumption.
Did anybody else get the weird thing of like some of the Mandalorian color schemes and helmets looked like bad 3D printed like cosplay?
Yes. Let me touch on the Snoop Dogg thing. I'm pretty sure that was for a music video. Because that picture was circulating the internet a long time ago. Like, oh my gosh, Snoop's in there. He's not. Second, yes, the kid's helmet, there's no way that was forged. It looks like a Hasbro plastic.
Yeah.
Hey, don't bash Hasbro helmets.
Says the guy who is $7,000 invested into Hasbro.
But dang it, we don't have the helmet we got when we saw Ant-Man.
Oh shoot.
Noah bought a big old stupid Ant-Man helmet that he put his popcorn in.
It was legit.
It was legit.
It lit up.
It lit up.
I mean, what else can I ask for? So that was a little ridiculous.
They had to figure out they couldn't shoot it, and then they're like, get up on the Hydra's back, and that didn't work either.
Yeah.
Get up on the Hydra's back! Get up on the Hydra's back! Get up on the Hydra's back!
And then clearly none of them have ever watched Crocodile Hunter. R.I.P. Steve Irwin.
Clearly, none of them have ever fought a monster before.
Dude, I mean, anybody who's watched National Geographic knows
I
that
don't know how to respond to that.
Okay.
anybody that watched National Geographic knows that gator's gonna death roll, Shoddy, and you can't strap yourself to it. In classic Mando, he just rolls in. First of all, though, so Jon Favreau's Mandalorian, the one
Sure.
that he plays, Visla, I can't remember his first name. His helmet is
Wait, that's Jon Favreau?
yeah.
No, it's not.
It's his voice, at
It's
least.
him.
Jon Favreau is doesn't fit.
The man
I'm
is
sorry, he
in
doesn't fit
the
in that. He doesn't
armor.
fit in that suit. I love
don't-
Jon Favreau, but him and me are kin, and that he's not fitting in that armor.
I don't know that he's in the armor, but I am gonna die on this hill saying he's in that armor.
Oh, okay.
Because I want him to be. His helmet is very like military-esque. Like
Sure.
I feel like a U.S. soldier would wear that.
It reminds me of like the Halo 3 different modded helmets you could get for Master
Yeah.
Chief in multiplayer.
Except apparently his massive gun is basically useless because he unloaded a lot into that thing.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Turns out you need more than blasters to stop a 500-foot giant crocodile.
You need a freaking Lamborghini B1.
Actually, I'll tell
Which,
you right
the
now.
angle he took at shooting that thing, I thought, bro, you missed? You just killed all of your friends.
I thought the exact same thing. It's like that That's a very risky shot.
Yeah, that's right, though. That's how you do it.
Never doubt.
You know, it's actually a little bit of a disappointment that I didn't realize was a disappointment until the end of the episode where they show the concept art at the end.
Yeah.
And they showed how originally the monster was not a giant crocodile with like a turtle shell. It was a giant snapping turtle.
I must have missed
And
that.
I was so disappointed because I was like, oh, that would have been so much better.
Dang.
Just a giant snapping turtle monster. Because those things are terrifying.
That would have explained like not being able to.
Like a crocodile will just bite you and drown you and kill you, but a snapping turtle will just take your toe off.
Right,
Which is
right.
not cool.
And then you got to live with that.
Yeah.
I'd much rather just not live.
Or you got to live with it attached to you because it bites and never lets go.
Never lets go. Dang.
When we were used to swim at the lake, that was always my like secret fear that a snapping turtle would bite my foot and not let go and just sink me down into the depths.
Mine was purely great white sharks.
Well, they are there.
Yep.
You just got lucky.
I just saw how to beat a shark in a fight underwater.
Oh.
All you do is push its nose down and they go away.
Get perpendicular. I've ever seen that where they push them and they go straight up and they get confused.
I don't think they're the only ones confused.
So back to Mando. He lands and he's like, Armor, forgive me for my sins.
Right.
She's like, did you take your helmet off? He's like, yeah.
And he's like, you already said that.
So,
But we didn't watch Boba Fett.
Exactly.
So she says you got to bathe in the mines of Moria.
Pretty much.
yeah. The Mines of Mandalore.
Right.
Sounds
But-
like another quest.
But before you get to the main quest,
But
Right.
for historical context,
Bring
when
it.
the Empire took over, they went to Mandalore and they destroyed it. They killed all the Mandos, all the Mandalorians, and they destroyed Mandalore.
similar to what our boy in Bad Batch did to Poca City. I think that's what it's called.
On Camino.
On Camino. But Sean already knows that.
Yeah, I'll say that's at the end of Clone Wars, right? That kind of sequence of them bombing.
No, it's in
Mandalore?
Bad Batch. End of season 1, Bad Batch.
No, I meant Mandalore, not Camino.
Oh,
Oh, Mandalore?
my bad.
Like, is that on screen anywhere?
There's a flashback scene.
They talk about it a lot. There's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
a dedicated episode.
Because I actually thought in The Mandalorian when they have a flashback sequence of that and they show the TIE fighters bombing, and you always think of like, oh, they drop these like blue balls of light that are plasma and just go poof. But I liked
Like
how
the
in
Gungans.
I liked how in the show they're basically dropping nukes.
Right.
And I thought that was visually pretty cool.
There was a scene in Rebels where the Empire does something to Mandalore, but I don't know if it was the same event.
I don't think so. I know season 1 of Mando, they talk about it too.
Right. There's some flashbacks. But so the whole premise is the Empire nuked Mandalore. So everybody thinks that Mandalore is just like poisoned at this point. Like you can't even go there. But Mandalorian has this artifact that he received from some guy. They don't really dive into it too much.
It's wild that wasn't an episode.
Right.
Him getting an artifact to get to the next point in his mission.
Yeah. So he gets this artifact it's from Mandalore. It's from the surface of the Mandalore planet. And it kind of shows like, listen, if this guy was able to retrieve this, clearly the planet isn't poisoned. So I could go there and maybe go to the mines and bathe in the pool of the mines. Hopefully I don't run into any Balrogs. Am I right?
Gosh, I hope so.
Dude, if Mandalore fed a Balrog,
Well, which would he fight? Would he fight a Balrog or would he fight the giant tentacle monster that was in the lake outside the Mines of Moria?
both.
That's what I want to see.
That's his specialty, dude.
I feel like,
He's got the Darksaber.
should we just move into kind of
Lord of the Rings? Sure.
Yes, of course. Always. Should we move into some of our predictions for the rest of the season? Because I just want to let it out now.
Do it, Sean.
What a shame it would be if he gets to the mines and he doesn't have to fight a monster in the water.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Water. Beat you to it. Yeah, that would be dope. What do you think, dude?
I think we're going to see some... actually, from what I saw, Jon Favreau said Grogu spent 2 years with Luke. So
What?
Grogu has 2 years of experience.
How the heck are they gonna?
Exactly. He came out and said that, and it makes you think, uh-oh, what is Grogu about to do?
He's about to pull something up.
Jon Favreau should probably get his facts straight because the Book of Boba Fett was only 1 year after Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, what the heck, John? That makes no sense.
And this has only been 1 year since the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, but Grogu made his decision not to take the lightsaber, and it doesn't tell you how much longer it took him to take him back.
It makes sense because he visits Greef Karga, and the planet Greef Karga's on is completely rehabilitated, and they've completely built it up, and he's now the, what's his title now?
Yeah, but that could happen in a day.
Magistrate, I don't know.
Day.
But yeah, there was that one part he asked about Cara Dune,
Right.
and I thought for sure he was gonna go, she's dead, but she's not. They went with the same.
She got recruited by Special Forces.
Yeah, they went with the same story.
Some other employer other than Disney, apparently.
What's same story?
At the end of Mando season 2,
Think so.
they ask her to join the New Republic forces.
Right.
Oh yeah,
So
and yeah.
as
Well, originally before Disney fired her, she was originally going to be in some sort of special forces show.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're still going with that.
Well, yeah,
there's
it's just you don't have to see her do it.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
We don't have to revisit that. She's gone. She done got another job.
She's just trying something.
So he visits Greef Karga. They've got this statue of IG-11, our boy from season 1 who sacrificed himself to save everybody. There's still a couple pieces of him left in this statue that they harvested from the lava. Sure.
The explosion from his chest.
Nobody's ever really gone, Sean.
What's great about that is they went out of their way to show us him blowing up.
Somehow IG-11 returned.
Pretty much.
So Mando's like, I need a droid for my next mission. I only trust
Backstory.
IG-11
He doesn't trust droids because droids came to his homeworld and destroyed everything.
in the Clone Wars.
So he's racist against droids.
B2 droids specifically.
So IG-11 is the first droid he's ever trusted. So that's why he's like, yo, I want that droid.
So he takes IG-11's small parts to Babu Frick and co. Except it's not really Babu Frick. What race are they, Sean?
I don't know.
Nobody
I
does.
said that earlier. I don't know.
Wow. You're supposed to be our almanac.
Yeah, there was a lot of like,
You want me to
Easter
look it up?
eggs.
Sean, I want you to know it. Dang it.
Okay.
there's a lot of Easter eggs in this. They had the Jabba the Hutt's pet.
Oh, yeah. Salacious Crumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole
was in
family
it.
of them.
Babu Fricks were in it.
Yep. Frick 'em.
And then the pirates showed up on Greef Karga's. Did you notice the 2 droids holding Greef Karga's robe
Yes.
from touching the ground?
That was
I thought that was kind
ridiculous.
of cool.
I thought that was ridiculous.
I loved it.
He's going full Lando mode.
Yeah,
It says they are.
that's
on-
racist, dude.
Jeez.
It says they are Anzellans.
And Zellans. I'm glad you looked it up, Sean. Good call. So anyway.
But yeah, Greef, he pulled his Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes basic move. Shot that guy. No, the pirates showed up and they were gonna go into a school and like start drinking, and he's like, "Yo, I redid this whole place. You guys can't just show up and do what you want.
Right.
That's a school. You can't go and drink in there." And they're like, "No, I think we can. We can go drink in there."
No, I mean like there's literally no alcohol there,
Like literally nothing is in there for you to drink.
unless you want
go in
water.
there and get a drink if we say we can. That must have been the bar from season 1. Where
Sure.
Greef is handing out pucks and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get ticked. There's a standoff. Mando draxes 3 of them.
No, Greef. They do a little Western shootout, and Greef beats him to the punch.
Shoots his gun.
Shoots his gun like a boss.
I missed that one, Sean. Sorry. Do it again.
Take the shot, Mickey!
I'm glad I asked you to do it again. So Greef shoots his gun.
Well, all the other pirates pull their guns, and Mando and Greef just drop everybody around the main pirate.
Pew pew. Pew pew.
They
Got him.
start pewing people.
Man,
True.
the callbacks are immaculate. Yeah.
But this set up a future villain that we're going to end up seeing. They did some world building.
Future struggle. So later on, well, before we get to that, so the jobbers, the frickers, the babus,
Anzellans.
they try to save IG-11 and they can't. And before that, they actually booted up IG-11. But the problem
And
is,
he went rogue.
he went rogue. He went back to his original programming to kill Grogu. So they take him to the Fricks, and the Fricks say, listen, you need this part. This part is really difficult to get. Like, there's none in the galaxy, but this, like, it's over, man. Just kill this droid. Mando says, I'll get you your part, and I'm going to take 3 episodes to do it.
Right.
That's right.
Because I'm going to run out of fuel and I'm going to have to.
I'm going to need some milk.
You know, honestly, a part of me likes that because Mandalorian is not like in a rush.
No.
He's like, hey, I mean,
took him 2 years
yeah, he's
to
like,
do
hey,
nothing.
you know, what am I doing? I got a ship, I got money, I got gas, I got Grogu. I'm not in a hurry. I'm gonna rebuild my droid friend. Think about like, what else are you gonna do?
No, he's trying to forgive get his sins washed away.
Yeah, but there's not a ticking clock for him to do that.
Right.
You know, he doesn't have to get that done lickety split unless in the next episode or two something gets introduced.
I have a hard time believing that he's had the Darksaber for 2 years unchallenged. All these other Mandalorians are flying around. No, they haven't.
Have
he
you
got challenged in Boba Fett.
Have you seen what those Mandalorians are capable of?
Not much.
Not much.
Running around in their Hasbro helmets with their cables
Yeah.
and their flamethrowers. The one guy's trying to flamethrow that alligator from like 100 feet away. Just
This'll show him.
just pitiful. Give me the armor, Sean. So
Hope you like pain.
he leaves the planet and he's immediately tracked down by pirates. And they're like, yo, Shotty, you shot 4 of my bro hammers. You thought you could just get away? You're going to have to deal with the head pirate guy, whose name escapes me.
King
Sean?
or something.
All I know is that his design was extreme.
Yeah.
I kind of loved it.
Kind of like Davy Jones from
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
But Davy Jones was a octopus man. This is just a moss man.
Moss Man, do you think he'll be involved in Swamp Thing? Is this tied to the DC universe? Predictions.
With the way things are going, probably.
I think one of the predictions I have is he is eventually going to get captured by the Moss Pirate. I mean,
I hope so.
They clearly set that up to be like, this guy's coming back. We spent a lot of money on the CGI on this guy. So
I don't know if it was CGI. I thought it was. I mean, it looked like just a bunch of makeup.
just real life Moss.
Well, yeah.
Dang.
I mean, it's everywhere. It's easy to put on.
Has science gone too far? Maybe. So that is the scene that we were talking about earlier. That is just an epic. Him showing off the capabilities of his ship, wrecking people.
Yeah.
And then the pirate gets in front of him with his.
Pew pew pew.
Oh, he starts pewing people, and he just.
Gorian Shard.
Nice, David, with the Google.
Gorian?
Very good.
Gorian Shard.
So Gorian Shard's got this massive ships, and he's like, you're done, dude. We're gonna capture you. You're toast. You
can't escape, Mando.
And then Mando just flicks the switch, hits the button, and gone. And David, what is exciting about the next scene?
The next scene?
When they're floating through cyberspace.
They're chilling.
Cyberspace, we're moving. We're beating Hacker at his games.
Dude, that just triggered something in me.
Sean, tell me you know about cyberspace.
No.
Actually, it's called Cyber Chase.
Yeah.
This is all ruined. Keep going, David.
So they're traveling through hyperspace, and Grogu's looking up at all the hyperspace lines in the sky, and they start seeing these shadows.
Oh.
So that's what I'm saying. There's so many Easter eggs in this episode.
Make me
so
your
these
Easter.
shadows, they start to become more pronounced, and you see it is a Purgle.
Oh, Sean, are you excited?
I don't know what a Purgle is.
Exactly. So
Idiot.
Purgle are like space whales that can travel through hyperspace.
Cool.
And this is what Ezra used to defeat the bad guy in Rebels. I didn't want to ruin anything, so
I'm sorry, I ruined it.
Ezra has animal handling abilities through the Force.
Oh, has he got like that? He's got that talent unlocked?
Yeah. So he can connect through the Force to these whales, and he uses them to travel through hyperspace.
The Purgles, dude.
I feel like Purgle is a weird name for a light speed travel whale.
Well,
but in another
Filoni
way,
was just trying
Like I
something.
picture a Purgle as like something really fluffy and small on Star Trek.
Or what are the things called in episode 7?
Porg.
Porgs. I feel like the Porgs should have been called Purgles.
Porgles.
And the Purgles should have been called Porcas.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
Because
that
they
would
kind
have
of look like orcas. So Purgles. My prediction is Purgles will have zero impact on Mandalorian.
I think it was just a little Easter egg for the Ezra.
Because they are going to be a massive part of the Ahsoka show.
Yeah.
And they had to like just sprinkle in a little introduction to say like, these
It
are out
sounds
there.
like they're very important.
Dude, they're legit. They're whales that
sure.
can fly through space at light speed.
Wow.
It's almost like I wonder if Lightspeed technology was developed from Purgles. You know how like,
Oh man, it's like Avatar: The
they
Last
take
Airbender.
the juice from their brain,
oh my gosh,
like Avatar: Way of Water.
That's the hyperspace fuel. Is
holy shiz, dude! This changes everything.
It's actually really messed up when you think about it.
Dang. I wonder what the Purgle industry pays. Do you think we could get involved in that?
Remember when we saw Avatar and the guy is like had a vial of the brain juice and he's like, this vial goes for 8 million an ounce or whatever. And I'm like, that's it? I feel like in the far-flung future, I feel like the economy must be doing really weird things if it's only worth $8 million.
Dude, you traveled to another planet and harvested their whales and you're only getting 8 million?
I'm like, isn't like one space flight like probably $2 billion?
Gotta be in the trillions, man.
Come on.
Think about the fuel.
This
in
economy? So he plunders with the Purgles,
Yeah, he's just seeing Purgles.
as you do.
And then he shows up to I don't know what planet, but we see Bo-Katan chilling in her castle, a Mandalorian castle.
Just a big empty castle, and she's sitting on the throne for the H of it.
Which, if you dissect her character, there is nothing important about her. There's no reason she's in a castle right now. She's never done anything.
What has she been doing for the last 2 years?
She has a tragic backstory.
I mean, she said she went to Mandalore to try to univite. What does that mean? She tried to unite the clans, and because she didn't have the Darksaber, they just sent her packing.
Yeah, so she's pouting.
She's not, Sean.
She's pouting on her
Quit
throne.
that.
sorry.
Basically says, you have the Darksaber, you can unify them. Why don't you do it?
And he says, this is the way. And she says, shut the hell up.
She
She says, goodbye, Din
doesn't like
Djarin.
She said it correct, and now I know how. Thank you, Bo.
And that's how it ends.
Good episode.
It was good.
Actually, when you think about that as the season 1 premiere, a little underwhelming. I
Yeah,
felt
a
whelmed
little underwhelming.
because season 2 was like a giant IMAX fight this giant sandworm event.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I said though, here's really what came out of this episode. Where he's showing off his ship way more, and this thing is like gonna be the centerpiece of who he is. He's got the fastest ship in the galaxy.
Still not as cool as his other ship.
It doesn't have the cargo space.
It's no Luthen's ship.
dude. Luthen's ship is deadly, but his is fast. It's just so fast, Sean. He stores his
It's not as fast as the Millennium Falcon.
he stores his Darksaber in his ring.
How many parsecs can it do whatever?
More and less. So it was the ship. it was highlighting his ship, and then it was a little sprinkle of, "Hey guys, Purgles exist." Like that was the whole episode. But the ship sequence was movie-esque.
Sure.
I thought that the CGI team was bang on that one.
Good for them.
Taps off to the CGIs.
Yeah, I mean, that town, I don't know how much of that was real set versus like those kind of like CG background extended
Probably like
screens.
6.
But the town, I mean, that town looked great. I mean, everything in the show always looks really good. I have no hang-ups about any of that.
No quarrel.
No quarrel.
That's good to hear. What would you rate it? 1 out of 10.
7. I wanted to see the Darksaber, and we didn't.
Everybody just wants to see lightsabers.
It's heavy.
That's what I heard in Boba Fett.
Like that one person commented.
Tires you out.
Yeah.
When David was at Disney.
You know, when my 3-year-old wants to have a birthday party, we hire a magician to pull out a bunny or a rabbit out of a hat because they need tricks to be entertained and they need fancy. I like lightsabers.
Okay.
David calling out the comments section. That'll go well. What do you give it out of 5 stars, Sean? You noob.
3.5.
Wow. That's 7. Yeah, I think 7.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a rating, but I'm just going to copy you guys.
I didn't hate it. I mean, a part of me would be like, oh, you know, it wasn't the coolest thing ever, so therefore, I mean, but really, I mean, everything was done well.
I mean, if you had to guess, how long of an episode was that? Because I felt underchanged. Or
Underchanged.
is that what's the right word?
Short change.
Shortchanged. Yeah.
I mean, it did feel like it was 13 minutes long.
I immediately just thought like
it was
you
like
didn't
40.
change into enough clothes.
Happens.
I feel underchanged. I need to change more.
It happens.
It does happen. Probably 32 minutes.
Sure.
The issue is the freaking recap. You log in,
No,
it's
you
like
need it.
38 minutes. No, you got a recap and you've got the credits.
True.
Why did they even include the credits?
They rip us off.
Yeah, I think that episode would have been better if they gave us episode 2 right away. I think there's only 8 episodes.
Really?
So weigh that.
Frick. When does season 4 start?
And 3 of them focus on Boba Fett.
I just saw Favreau's just wrote the end of, or just finished season 4.
Oh, frick.
So
Why don't you work on season 3, John?
Tell him. The guy. Do you remember who directed this one?
No, sorry.
I can't remember his name. He's the one who did.
Kurt?
My phone's dead.
Kurt.
No, he's got a very unique name. It's the African American gentleman. He's
Ryan
very
Coogler.
No, he's very talented because he did the other one. He did the prison.
In Andor?
Prisoner. No. The season 1 Mando.
When they fight in the prison ship?
Yes.
Okay.
He did that episode. He also did. Gosh.
Rick Famuyiwa.
Yes. He might have done.
Famuyiwa.
What was the episode before the finale of season 2?
I don't know.
Sean.
Is this important?
the Seeing
Probably
Stone
not.
episode? I don't know.
The scenes.
Where Boba Fett comes in.
It's the episode before Luke shows up.
Okay.
Yes. It's the Bill Burr episode.
Oh, yeah, Bill Burr.
We get his backstory, and this is why I made the connection, because that's the episode that we get Slave 1 action with seismic charges.
Yes.
So that episode had dope ship scenes. This episode.
Do you mean to imply
dope.
that this director has an affinity and a love and appreciation for Attack of the Clones?
Well, here's the thing. I don't fully understand the director's role. I don't even know what a direct is. So how much say does he have with the CGI ship battles? Because every episode he's done has had epic ship battles. Because in that prisoner one, that's the one where he is in the cockpit of an X-Wing,
Sure.
and Filoni is in an X-Wing, and the other, I don't know if it was Deborah Chow, it might have been. One of the other directors, they're all X-Wing pilots.
Yeah.
And they destroy that hangar that the Mandalorian drops that dude off at.
Sure.
So that was a really long-winded way to say this guy equals good ship scenes.
Okay. I'll pay attention to that.
We'll give my thumbs up to him.
Well, then we should predict that all of his episodes will be good ship battles. And
hope so.
if not, then you're wrong.
If not, I'm 100% wrong.
I would predict that this season is going to focus on him returning to Mandalore and probably accomplishing his quest. And then somehow, one way or another, he eventually becomes the new surrogate leader of the Mandalorians. Because he's
Yeah.
got the saber.
Right. What if he bathes in the waters, but they are gross to the point where it changes his skin
Armor
color?
No, his armor color.
Oh, it taints.
Matte black.
Dude, that'd be sick.
Can't even see him.
But Grogu dies because it is poisonous. But you said ship battles, and it reminded me of
I'm sorry,
the
can you-
championship battle between Creed.
I was gonna say, can you enunciate that a little bit better?
What did I say?
Shit battles.
Ship.
Okay, good.
Shaka-baka.
Yeah, so ship battles. Championship battle. Creed 3. We went and saw
Tell
it.
me about Creed 3.
Dude,
I fear those chains are breaking, yeah. I fear God, I don't fear death. I see those stripes and take a step.
Sean, the more I thought about it, so I got out of the theater, I was pumped. I was like, dude, that is an
Naturally.
amazing movie. And then I kind of read some stuff online about people kind of poo-pooing
Oh,
it.
no.
Dude,
don't ever
that's what
say
happens
that.
every time with every movie
I
we
thought,
see.
you know what? I guess it wasn't that good, but dang it, it was good. And I'm going to stick to my guns.
There you go.
This is my rating. Are you ready?
me.
Creed 3. 8.9 out of 10.
Oh my word, David.
8.9.
David's just dropping 8.9ers.
4 out of 5 for me. 8 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
I don't necessarily want to ruin the movie, but there was a certain part in the movie where I was turned with a T.
Oh my gosh.
Turned.
Alternatively.
It made me, dude. I was with Tyler and Sean, and I looked over at Tyler, and he was like, "Let's go!" Like he was right there with me. It was great.
Flashback to us seeing the Batman with Tyler and one of the many hallway scenes. And I look over at Tyler and he looks at me and goes, yes. Dude, we got to get Ty on this pod. Talk to him.
That's a manly movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie, man. And I'll tell you what, the trailers made the movie to be out pretty cheesy. It was like, all right, it's the third movie,
Right.
and
We've never seen a third movie do well in a trilogy.
right. So
Except Return of the King.
and
I'll tell you what.
Revenge of the Sith.
You watch the movie, and you buy into it. You feel both sides.
Have you enrolled in a boxing class?
Not yet.
There's a few boxing gyms nearby.
I feel like it was a boxing class watching the movie.
Dang.
Yeah.
But we saw it in Dolby, so we straight up felt the punches.
Oh, Dolby's the way, man.
Dude.
You know what I've actually started noticing about Dolby is how mumbly the dialogue is,
Yes.
especially in this movie.
Yes, I totally
Really?
agree with you. There was a couple times I had no idea what they were saying.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a bummer because it's like they're compromising performance for
Boom.
clarity.
Yeah.
I mean, Jonathan Majors, I'll say, in that movie is incredible. I mean, he
Dude.
carries the movie,
Yeah.
and he's great
He
in
is
it.
scarier in that movie than he is in Ant-Man.
That he is the Kang that we needed in that
Wow.
movie.
That's disappointing.
Do you want to know like the plot? I don't know. I don't want to ruin it, but I would love to talk to you about it. Because
I'll be honest with you.
You've never seen any of the Creed films.
I haven't seen any of the three, but I really I've always wanted to. And you guys invited me to see the movie, and A, I hadn't seen the first two. B, we were getting hit with a massive snowstorm that night. And I just said, you know what, guys, not tonight.
Yeah, that was quite a wild ride home, that's for
it
sure.
was for sure.
Glad you guys made it home.
I parked in the handicap spot because I'm like, I don't want to walk too far to my car.
Report you.
I might have parked on like the sidewalk because I couldn't tell where it was.
Pretty much.
Dang. Yeah, I want to see them. I mean, I think I understand the gist. He fights him and then he wins.
Yeah, but dude, that's the best part in the movie. There's like this odd tension between these guys.
Because they're like old buddies.
Yeah, they're like childhood friends. And
Childhood
Like me and
friends.
Sean.
Sure.
Which one am I, David? Am I Thanos or am I Creed 3? That doesn't even make any sense.
I don't know how to answer your questions ever. But no, the basis of the movie is just his buddy. I want to ruin it.
He got his buddy arrested. Like they were.
Do you want to know?
Here's what I got from the trailer.
Okay.
They did a crime together. His buddy got caught. He didn't. His buddy went to prison. He becomes this rock star boxer who's a multimillionaire. His buddy just got out of prison.
Did
and
you see this movie
ticked.
without telling us?
And I saw the trailer.
Oh my gosh.
So his buddy gets out of prison and he's like, you don't remember me? Come on, man. And he's like, oh my gosh, you're that guy from all the time ago. It was so many's ago. And then he's like ticked because he's like, I've been in prison doing nothing but hard drugs and working out. And I'm ready to rock your ish, dog.
I don't know where he got all those steroids in prison.
So then he starts boxing professionally. He's rising up the ranks. He kills a guy accidentally in the ring.
That is exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Dang.
Behold. This is the part where we get into spoilers.
Well, I guess we'll never know. So
Except
this
he
has been-
he doesn't kill a guy in the ring. That doesn't happen.
Oh, but
Actually, can we talk real quick, David?
you guys can tell me. I don't care.
How in the world the guy he fights is Felix, and then the Jonathan Majors character is Damien. How in the world, in the great blue earth that God created, is Felix and Damien in the same weight class?
I was thinking that. I think they just
Felix
went with
is
it.
like 100 pounds lighter.
Right.
Dang. Who's Felix?
So this movie, it starts off, it makes it very clear. Creed had his last fight. He's done. He has retired. He retired champ. He's had every belt under the sun. And he has started his own school of boxers now, where it's his gym and he's helping the next generation.
Classic.
So he's raising boxers up, teaching them everything he knows. And one of his boxers is the new champ. So he's been pouring into this guy, and it's now a business where he's trying to get the big fights, and he has Showtime paying him. They have like a cool little
You like it before every big fight, like Showtime will do like a mini 10-minute documentary, and they actually have something like that in the movie.
Yeah, it's like an actual documentary, a Showtime documentary of Michael or Creed,
Adonis.
with his Adonis, Donnie, with his fighter and stuff. But his buddy gets out of jail. What's his name? Damien. Damien gets out of jail and just shows up at his gym one day, and he's like, "Yo, who are you?" He's like, "You don't remember me?" And then there's this weird tension where you can't trust Damien, but there's this weird conflict within Adonis, where something happened, and throughout the movie you find out what happened, but Adonis feels guilty of what happened. And there's this odd thing where his buddy almost wants Adonis to help him out, and Adonis feels like he has to.
Right.
So Adonis basically says, like, dude, come to my gym. Like, we'll get you, we'll get you sparring, we'll get you back in. And he's like, wow, you do that for me? And he's like, yeah, man, I take care of you. You're my family. And he's like, all right. So he's in the boxing
job.
Yeah, whatever. And his champion is sparring everybody, but beating the crap out of everyone. So Adonis is like, this guy's beating everybody we put in the ring. He's like, I'm going to have my old buddy Damien. I'm doing him a favor and I need someone in there. So yeah, we'll have him in there. So they spar, and you can tell like Damien's like getting a little upset that this is the champ. And the whole story is right in the beginning, it's them as kids. And Damien is the amateur champ. They like go to this underground fight place, and
As
Damien,
like a teenager, he's already boxing and
and he's like the man. And Adonis was there, like, putting his gloves on, and he was his man outside the ring. And he said, Donnie, when I get big enough, we're going to make it, and I'm going to be the champ. I'm going to be the biggest fighter in the whole world, and you're going to be right there with me. And like, it's this whole thing of this guy's dream is to be the champ.
Right.
And then something happens. Donnie gets into a fight at a liquor store, and Damien pulls a gun on someone. The cops show up. Donnie runs. And Damien gets taken away for 18 years.
Big oof.
And Damien, all he did was stand up for Donnie and went to jail for it.
Right.
So Adonis has this conflict in him of like, I ran away.
Right.
And he did time. So he comes out of jail, and Creed is everything he ever wanted to be.
Right.
Damien taught Adonis how to fight. So he's like,
You're a coward, Mickey.
so like there's this like facade in Damien right when he gets out of jail where it's like this like buddy, but you can't really trust him.
Right.
It's like odd, like there's like tension there because he went to jail because of him.
Right.
So Donnie runs, whatever. He gets away. He doesn't go to jail. So he becomes a star. Damien is sparring, and basically he goes to Creed after, and he's like, dude, I want a chance to fight.
Give me a shot. Give me a shot at the title.
Because he can see Adonis is calling all the shots.
Right.
This heavyweight title is being fought on this day. I've got the two biggest fighters. He's like getting everything together to make the money. And Damien sees that, and he's like, I want my title shot. And he's like, dude, you're not even a boxer. You just came out of jail. I can't do that.
Right.
And he's like, listen, I'm getting older. I have no time. I can't be boxing trying to make my way up. I'm already older. I already did my time. I'm ready now.
Right.
Do something about it. So it's like this odd, like Damien's starting to become more and more like aggressive with this, his dream of being a boxer. And Donnie's like, okay. So Adonis has his champ, Felix, set up to fight the guy he fought in the second movie, the Russian.
Drago.
So
Drago Jr.
Drago's son.
The Drago's son.
yeah, so not to ruin anything, but I'm totally gonna. In the second movie, he fights Drago's son. He beats him. Drago's son is completely abandoned by his family for losing the fight. He's not like welcome back to Russia. And so it's kind of cool in this movie. You see Donnie took him in, and he's like the man in his school. And but yeah,
Redemption.
A redemption arc. So you've got Felix versus the Russian, and it's going to be the biggest fight ever. And they have like a giant party, like pre-fight party, and he invites Damien, like, dude, come to the party, meet my wife, meet, all the people. Let's get you caught up in the world again.
Sure.
So at this party, Damien is just like, right before the party, actually, let me mention, Damien and Felix are sparring, and Felix starts like running his mouth on Damien a little. And Damien just like prison mode activates.
Oh my.
And he just starts beating on Felix and actually like dirty like elbows him and like cuts his face, I think. I can't remember exactly, but he does something. Everyone's like, dude, what are you doing? That's our champ. You can't do that. You're here to help him, not.
Right.
And he's just like, I told you I wanted my shot at the title. And he's just like, you can see it coming undone where he's just like this
menace.
He is. And he's scary once he comes out.
Dang.
So this pre-fight between the Russian and Felix at this party, some guy jumps the Russian and breaks his arm with a pipe so he can't fight. Yeah.
Damien's boy.
Exactly. That was like the big plot twist of like, later on Adonis finds out that's Damien's buddy from jail. And he's like, what the heck? So long story short, he basically convinces Felix like, fight my buddy Damien. Just beat him. We're gonna get a lot of views on it because this guy just got out of jail. He used to be an amateur boxer. It's
they only have like a few days or a few weeks for the fight. They got to fill a spot.
Yeah, they had to fill a spot. He just like manipulates Felix into doing it for Damien. So anyway, the fight happens. Damien gets his chance in front of the whole world, and Damien is dirty at boxing. Like when the ref's not looking, he's doing stuff he shouldn't, and he actually It's really cool because Michael B. Jordan directed this. I think this is his first movie, right?
His directorial debut.
Yeah.
What a goat.
So he took a lot of
I
his...
mean, anybody that's watched this show knows we love ourselves a good Michael B. Jordan.
We love him. He's great.
We think he should be Superman.
Superman.
Yeah.
Plural.
Yes.
So
all of them.
So anyway, Adonis sets up this fight and they fight. Whatever. I got to that. But
Yeah.
Felix and him are fighting, and Michael B. Jordan took influence from anime for his fights. So they're like hyper dramatic and like super like over swinging and stuff like that. And
Every punch is like accompanied with the sound effect of like an explosion or a grenade going off, basically.
Gosh. I gotta see this movie.
but it's really cool. Damien does something really dirty and tries to basically like break this guy's shoulder when the ref's not looking. And throughout the whole fight, it's Damien focusing on his shoulder and like hurting it over and over, like not in a healthy way, I guess you could say, not in like a by the rules,
right?
You know, he's hurting his shoulder, and then there comes a point where he can see his bicep is starting to get really like red, and like he did something to his shoulder, so he just keeps dirty, taking dirty shots at him. He ends up knocking Felix like down and puts him on a stretcher and taken right to the hospital.
Ooh.
And like Adonis is at ringside, and he's like, what the heck, man? Like that was the dirtiest fight I've ever seen, but he got away with it. So he won the title. Damien got the title.
So then Adonis has to step in.
So it's this whole thing where there's this conflict within Adonis, and his wife is trying to talk to him, but he doesn't know how to communicate. And he's just like, he doesn't talk. He doesn't want to talk about it.
Remember how we were talking about in Quantum Mania, how frustrating it is?
Yeah.
When Michelle Pfeiffer's character doesn't want to tell her family what she did that she regrets.
Right.
But this is...
In this one, it makes a little bit more sense.
It's so much better.
It's justifiable.
It's so much better. He finally is like coming to grips with it and like learning to like talk to his wife about it. And he's so angry, and this is the best part of the whole movie. And I've never... Again, I just talked to that guy about how I like lightsabers. I like the big fancy thing, whatever. In this, it was the dialogue between him and his wife that I was like, this is the best part of the whole movie. Dang. I've never said that about any movie where there's like dialogue that I like. I don't know. It's always the action. But there's a part where he's telling her what happened in his childhood. He's telling her like Damien, he went and spoke to Damien about it. And he's like, dude, like he went to meet him after the fight, and Damien was with his new clique of people.
Prison gang.
And some guy like goes to stop Adonis, and Adonis just knocks him out. This is so awesome. He just knocks him out and then goes up to him and was like, dude, what was that? Like, that's not how you fight. And then he basically tells him like, what do you know? Get out of my face. And then he actually like punches him. Damien punches him and knocks him to the ground and says, are you gonna run? Basically because he ran away.
Oh my God.
So it's this big like Adonis ran away. He's not a fighter. Like in terms of like their relationship, he ran away from him. He abandoned him.
Hey, don't run from the Lord.
Can't.
So yeah, Damien becomes the title champ, And he's talking to his wife, and he's like, he just like sent my champ to the hospital. My other Russian guy, he broke his arm. He had his buddy break his arm.
Right.
And she's just like, well, you know what you have to do? And he's like,
Shoot him.
no. Jeez. But no, he's like, he's talking to her. It's the best part of the whole movie. He's talking to her, and he's just like, and they just get quiet, and she's like, you know what you got to do? And he's like, I know what I got to do. And then it's J. Cole with the rap coming in. It's the
Just jump cut to the training montage.
It is literally like no time is wasted. He's just like, I know what I got to do. And then it's just training montage. He's getting back into it. It's J.
At the
Cole.
shooting range.
It's awful. But no, I thought it was sick. It wasn't cheesy. It was an awesome moment where he was betrayed by this guy, but he betrayed that guy back then. And it was just this moment of like, all right, guess it's the Thanos. Guess I'll do it myself.
Gauntlet.
So he just
It's been 3
trains.
years. He's gonna get back into the ring.
Yeah.
Dang.
And dude, the J. Cole rap that plays while he is, I don't know if it was the Dolby that was making the song that much better, but I mean, there's a lyric in there about like Wakanda, like nod to like Killmonger. But dude, oh, and then it shows Damian training.
Did they talk about Human Torch?
No,
Did they talk about Chronicle?
no.
Dang.
But
Snubbed.
yeah, the training sequences, dude. Kang, Jonathan Majors. That
The
dude
freaking
is a
yoked.
unit, man.
He is yoked out of his mind.
This was one of the best parts of the movie.
David loves a good yoke.
Yeah, Damien, freaking ripped.
High in cholesterol.
Adonis Creed. Creed has like the most unrealistic body I've ever seen in my life. He's the most like petite, but nothing but muscle.
Right.
So like his shoulders are just like balls,
Boulders, yeah.
and then it's like stick figure, and then his biceps are like it's like so weird.
Very Dragon Ball Z.
But yeah, so
He even made his physique like anime.
Good.
but yeah, they get
Somebody good.
they get into their main fight. You know, it's in Dodger Stadium.
They fight.
They fight, but this is where I don't know. I'm gonna ask Sean if he liked this or not, but Michael B started getting very artistic with
Yeah,
the fight.
it gets very stylized.
It's like straight up anime CGI. They do a couple fights normal, like the other movies, and then the third round, it just turns into like he pushes Damien up against the ropes,
yeah.
and the ropes turn into the prison cell, and he's like against his prison cell, and it's just like this super over dramatic fight sequence.
Actually, what's kind of cool about that, I actually did, to answer your question, I loved that. Because what's another cool feature is they're fighting in a giant stadium, but in that moment, the stadium disappears.
Right.
And it's like they're just fighting against a giant black backdrop, like all of us are. And and you know, like I think the sound of the crowd cheering goes out. The
Right.
music might go out too, and it's just them fighting each other, and like it gets really intense because, like, man, these guys hate each other so much,
Dang.
and they're fighting over it bad. But it was really cool stylistically. I loved that. Also, there's some pretty good use of slow motion in this movie.
Yeah,
Like where you not only they're fighting, but not just like slow mo getting punched, but like an opponent swings and then it like gets to super slow mo, and then the character like notices, okay, that's the opportune moment to hit him in the rib.
yeah. That I thought that part was awesome.
So they don't do that in Creed 1 or 2?
No,
Nope.
Who directed those ones? Did Sylvester?
I don't know.
I think Sylvester wrote the first one.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not
By the
sure
way,
about
in
the
this
second
movie,
one.
no reference, no presence, and maybe one very offhand reference to Rocky.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So
cool.
that's
You know what? It's 2.9 out of 5 or whatever I say.
Dang.
It's 3.9 out of 5.
Well, I was going to say
3.9 is different.
if that's true and you guys really like that style and that's like the first time they've done that, taps off to Michael B, because how many Rocky movies were there? 6. And now this is the 3rd Creed movie. So you've got 9 boxing movies in this franchise. It's like, how many times can you do the big epic fight?
Right.
You
I was
gotta
thinking
switch
that.
it up.
I was thinking that he's gonna get knocked down, and it's just gonna be this like 5,
Right.
6, and he's like trying to get up, and it's like he looks over at his daughter, he has a daughter who's deaf,
Oh man.
So it's this father story too.
I love
for
a good
him
father
dealing
story.
with that. And they
You'll
do
cry.
like sign language to
You'll
each
cry
other.
when you see it. Watch, you will.
Dude, I'll cry every day of my life.
Okay, good.
But
Stop
I
me.
thought for sure he's gonna be down on the ground looking over at his daughter, and she's gonna sign language to him. It's gonna be like
Dad,
super
don't
dramatic.
die. Dad, don't give up.
But it didn't happen. It was honestly, I felt like the end fight was very quick. It wasn't the biggest part of the movie, I felt like, but
Well, I'll say this: I really did enjoy the movie. You at home, internet at home,
Tell him.
I liked the movie.
I'm so happy.
So don't think I'm
What's
throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
What's he
here.
gonna say?
But the problem I had with Creed 3 is the same problem I had with Creed 1 and 2. And then at no point does Adonis Creed feel like the underdog. In fact, I was telling Tyler and Dave when we saw the movie afterwards, I said, if you think about it, he always is the one fighting the underdog. Like in the first Creed movie, the big, he's already rich. He comes from a rich family. He's got legacy and he doesn't have anything to prove, but he feels like he's got to prove it anyway. And he's driving a super nice car. He so arrogantly bets it on some lame fight in a sparring match and loses and embarrasses himself, loses the car. The bad guy he fights in that movie is some guy who is already a champion and then is going to jail for some things he did. So I'm going to fight him before he goes to jail. And it's like, and then in Creed 2, he fights Drago's son, who's like, living poor in Russia and is like training with his dad in the snow. And I'm like, dude, in any other movie, Adonis Creed would be the villain.
Yeah, that's right.
And especially in this movie, because honestly, by the end of it, I felt so much more empathy for Damien than Donnie. I was kind of rooting for Damien in the end.
Dang.
But that also is because Jonathan Majors is just like incredible in that movie.
yeah, he does a good job for sure.
Flash to the scene from The Office where Michael Scott says, "Show me a man you trust and I will show you a black man I trust more." Pam. My dad. Apollo Creed.
There you go.
Classic.
That's true.
Well, that sounds great, guys.
No, it's a great movie.
I want to see all three. I'm a big fan of the Rocky movies, and I just never, I don't know what, it's on my list. It's just on my freaking list.
I think
Sean, where can I stream the Creedlethans?
Your sister's house. She's probably got them on Blu-ray.
I mean, what's Showtime?
Probably not.
Because Showtime was in the movie. I'm guessing they're related.
I think Showtime is Showtime.
I don't know.
I'll have to Google it on the Googleplexes once my phone charges.
Yeah, that's a great trilogy.
Yeah, I want to see them.
Yeah, they're good. I just wish, and a part of me wishes I hope there's a fourth Creed movie because I want to like the lead character. I just feel like he hasn't been brought down low enough to something he's got to climb his way out of.
It's also interesting that he is retired and done. How old is Michael B. Jordan?
30.
How old was Sylvester
something.
Stallone when they made the first Rocky?
Older.
Probably like 38.
Well, that's what makes Rocky so good is he's like a bum. I mean, he is.
Right.
He's literally a henchman that Daredevil would beat up in a hallway.
Yeah.
And it's a movie about him desperately trying to get redemption and like make something of himself.
I guess that's the most surprising part about listening to you break it down is like he's already retired. Like what?
Yeah, it was like a weird time jump right in the beginning,
Hey, you go out on a high, man.
which was sweet. That beginning. This movie's so good. I'm
gonna see
every
it.
part of it. There's
it.
There's a
gonna
beginning
go see
fight.
it.
It's his last fight, and it shows the whole fight, and he is like losing. Like he's not winning in any means, But he's fighting the guy in every round. He's like finding this guy's fight pattern, and the guy is beating the crap out of him, and he's just taking it, and then it like slows down where he dodges a punch and he sees his ribs.
That was super anime.
Super like slow motion and stuff, but then he just like the bell rings for the next round and he just sits in his corner, and then the next round same thing, he's fighting the guy, does the same thing, sees his ribs, and he's like, all right. And then they're like, yo, Donnie, this is like, you're losing.
Right.
What are you doing? And he's like, I got it, don't worry.
No, he says to him, he looks at him, he goes, checkmate.
Yeah. Does he?
Yeah.
He does? Okay.
And you find out later why he says that. Because
his
that was
daughter.
that's what Damien would say.
So, yeah.
when he was a teenager.
When they were
fighting.
young, and Damien's fighting someone in the amateur league or whatever, he would look at young Donnie and say, checkmate. And then he'd knock the guy out. Dang. So I thought for sure in their end fight,
They didn't do it.
they were going to look at each other across the ring, and one of them was going to say, like, checkmate.
Although, you know
But-
what they did
and
do
then
in that
his
final
daughter
fight that was
would
pretty good?
sign it.
They totally did again, pretty anime, like Dragon Ball Z, where they both punch each other at the same exact
Yeah,
time.
they both
and,
connect.
and both like, knock each other down.
That is
same
classic
time.
anime.
That's pretty cool.
But
Good stuff.
yeah. And then in that beginning fight, he finally has a moment where he gets that one and then boom, knocks the guy out and wins the fight. And it's just like, it was great. It was really cool to see.
I'm
The
excited to
final
see it.
thought I have is that the character Felix, my understanding is he's played by a real boxer. I'm fine with his performance. I'm fine with the character. I just think that the movie didn't do a very good job of making him likable. Because a couple things. One, he's supposedly heavyweight champion. No, he's not. He's not a heavyweight
Are you
champion.
talking about Felix?
Yeah, Felix.
Dude, his entry.
That's what I was gonna
entrance,
say. He has a terribly ugly chin strap.
Yeah, he's pretty ugly.
he kind of runs his mouth a lot. He's not a likable guy. He's not a heavyweight, even though supposedly I'm supposed to believe that's a stretch for me to believe he's a heavyweight champion. However, his walkout was the best thing I've ever seen.
Dude,
Dang.
it was nuts.
Okay, don't spoil it for me because I will see the movie.
You won't. No, actually,
I might
you know
not.
what, bro? You saw. I was listening to one of our old episodes recently. That's
Yeah.
right. You finished Andor. You said you
did.
would. You finished Shang-Chi.
I did.
You're on a
I
roll.
honestly don't know if I'm going to watch Eternals because all I've heard is just crap. Until
They
the next
fight.
movie, they make a reference to Eternals, and it's like, you better go see it, Austin. So I probably should see it.
Just go on Disney Plus and watch the last 30 minutes of it. That's all you need.
I can do that.
I actually had a dream the other night where
You were Eternal.
it's so funny. I had a dream where somebody released a super edited down version of Eternals and just like cut out 90% of the movie, and it was just like a little bit of the beginning, a little bit of the middle, and then some of the end.
Nice.
Scrolling through Disney Plus in your dream. Oh wow, someone edited Eternals.
Weird dream. Maybe it happened so I could tell you that you should just watch the last 30 minutes of the
Wow,
movie.
God's plan.
God's plan, God's will, God wills it.
God wills it.
I'm so glad that you had that dream, Sean.
This is the way.
This is the way. Say it, dude. You son of a gun.
This is the way.
Nice.
All right. Well, I promised the viewers at home, and by viewers at home, I mean you guys before we start recording, that I would open up one of these packs because it's still my birthday, and I would find out
Perpetually.
if we were going to have a good episode or not. And so this will determine whether or not this was a good episode.
I feel like it was a good episode.
Well, no, you have to
oh,
wait.
it actually doesn't matter.
We're just going to go straight to the rare to see what I got.
Skip to the
Find
rare.
out the fun part.
I'm gonna guess it's some kind of crab.
I wish.
Dude, I could kill a man for a crab ragoon right now.
Oh my gosh, look at that. I got 3 rares.
Dang.
Well, it must be my birthday. I don't know how valuable
3
any of
rares.
these are, but,
There's 3 of us here, and that means it's a good episode.
That means it's rare.
That means
you
you
go.
better spend extra time editing this one and put super special elements into it.
Ready?
Kang!
Actually, once
Barbara Streisand!
Ultra Lord from Jimmy Neutron.
Jonathan Stamos! Brain blast!
actually, when we were walking out of the theater, I realized, dude, actually, if they have a Killmonger versus Kang scene in Secret Wars,
Secret Wars. Oh, they have to
I'd be
now.
way into it. If it's just those guys.
No,
fighting
it'll
each other.
just be Adonis versus Damien.
and then just like
Secret Wars is
just
everything.
just like take the fight scene and then just like CG the costumes on.
But
there.
actually turn it into anime, like hardcore.
well, there you go.
Dude, that's what they're gonna do.
I like the movie.
Good to hear.
Dude, it's so good.
Sean got 3 rares. We liked the movie. We all thought Sean thought Mandalorian was whelming, which hey, that's a positive.
I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't underwhelmed. I was whelmed.
Moderately whelmed.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to whelmed, you were a 7. Now what?
Someone had to go. Someone had to die.
Well, that's going to wrap up episode 33 of the best nerd podcast in the galaxy. If you made it this far, wow. Congrats. You're a legend. We thank you for your viewership. If you're listening on Spotify, hit that 5-star review. If you have not yet seen our videos on YouTube, you're an idiot because Sean spends a lot of hours editing.
Hold the phone.
I said what I said. All right?
You morons out there.
Sean spends a lot of time and effort editing these videos and he makes them look really good. So I would suggest popping it on the old TV or on your laptop or smart device and watching the YouTube video of us ramble. That's the best way to get your 99 Nerds content. So we thank you for your viewership. We ask you to comment, have you seen Creed 3? Have you seen the other Creeds?
Watch them.
What's your prediction for Mando Season 3? What do you think of Sean's pack? You didn't even show us the cards, you chatch.
Oh my gosh.
Show us the rares.
Okay. I got Jor Kadin, first Gold Warden. The alternate art. Actually, the full alternate art.
Dude, nice.
Rhea Ivor, Bane of Bladehold.
Oh my
also
gosh.
alternate art.
Wait a second.
The Seed Core.
Go back to the second one. Did that thing have multiple legs?
Yeah, she's a spider.
How many legs?
She's a spider lady.
8 legs?
No, not that I can
6?
see. I don't want to have to sit there. And
Well, I'm going to take that as a win with the crab ragoon prediction.
Oh, that's right. Good job, Austin.
Take that, Magic the Gathering. I am the magic.
It'll take it.
So thank you for watching.
That's right, Chuck.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to 99 subscribers so we can do a face reveal.
We're so close. If you would just make your mom subscribe.
Dude, make your mama an account.
Do you have a little sister? She has YouTube. Make
Sure.
her subscribe.
Yeah, this is a family-friendly show.
Do you have a brother-in-law?
Sean might have
make
to
him subscribe.
Edit a few things in this particular episode. Things got a little spicy. I think I said shiz once. So anyway, are we gonna drop merch at 99 subscribers?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe a trucker hat. Maybe a dad hat, since we like talking about all these family father shows.
I'm really nervous about the face reveal.
Well,
I gotta get a haircut.
same. Thank you for watching. This has been episode 93. 33 of 99 Nerds. That's gonna do it. Peace.